Okay, so hello and welcome to workshop for tag 7. Today we are gonna be talking about engaging with pronunciation, in addition to understanding thinking skills. So let's start with pronunciation. So by the end of this module, you will be able to identify the individual sounds of English that are most difficult for your learners to pronounce. Use range of activities to give your learners practice in pronouncing problematic individual sounds. Use effective techniques. Please write down your names in the chat box. Okay? So, number 3, use effective techniques to prevent poor pronunciation of individual sounds from developing. And use effective techniques to correct mispronunciation of individual sounds. So, these are our aims by the end of this module. Okay, so there are 4 aspects. We are gonna talking about. All of them are about pronunciation and how we can actually deal with pronunciation problems in general. So just to start like a very quick introduction. There are different reasons behind pronunciation problems. At first, L1 interference. So what do I mean by L1? The interference, L1 means L stands for language, and 1 means interference that might happen because of the first language. You find that a lot of people who speak English in a very Arabic way, or French or Chinese way, according to the first language, okay? So you speak the second language, but you are somehow more affected by the first language, okay? So L1 means the first language interference with the second language. So for example, maybe in standard Arabic, or what you might call الفصحى, حرف الذال والثاء, ثا and the, okay? So th, we pronounce th, the and the sa. So we actually get our tongues out, but in the Egyptian Arabic or dialect, we actually don't. For example, we don't say ثروت, but say ثروت بالسين. So because of not getting our tongue out, we say something with S, not something, or instead of something. Another problem, p and b. Let's watch the video at first, then I will clarify this point.
I'm pretty sure that most of you know the difference between the B and the P, right? It's only the air. But it's not about knowing the rule. It's about applying and using this rule when you're talking. So if it's kind of hard for you to read tongue twisters for the P and the B, probably going to make a mistake in an interview or when you're making a presentation or having a conversation. So remember this, it's not about knowing the rule, it's about applying and using this rule when you're talking, right? And when we're talking, we're not thinking. So you want to keep practicing the rule until it's in your subconscious mind. So sometimes the mistakes of the P and the B are embarrassing. For example, here we have bark and park, right? So bark is like the sound of the dog, and park, to park your car, right? So do you mean bark or park? Do you mean buy or pie? There's a huge difference. And bitch and pitch. Bitch here is a very sensitive word. It's a bad word. And pitch could be like sales presentation or the pitch of your voice or to pitch something, to throw something. So the difference between the B and the P is crucial for communication. It's crucial for even fluency, because if it is kind of hard for you to fully pronounce the B and the P, that will affect your fluency. Not only that, but it will shake your confidence, because you will feel that it's kind of hard for you. And especially for us as Egyptians, as Arabs, the P is hard for us, right? And a lot of us are ashamed because of this. But this is something really okay, because the P is not in our first language in Arabic. We never blow air when we're talking. So this is a hard sound. For most of us, it is a hard sound. It's simple, we know the difference between the B and the P, but when we're talking, we make a lot of mistakes with this sound. So take the time, give it some time to fully practice this sound. It will take so much time from you and so much effort.
Okay. So in the Egyptian dialect or standard Arabic, we don't say p. So a lot of people say people, not people. Okay? So this is the concerning pronunciation when we talk about pronunciation. But actually also in grammar. I found a lot of people say, for example, I saw him from 3 days ago. أنا شفته من. Saw him from. That's wrong. It's a literal translation. So you can be affected by your first language. Maybe in pronunciation, in grammar, in vocab, different things in language. Okay? Another problem that can cause mispronunciation is L2 in efficiency. Okay? So this means that I have a problem with the second language itself. Do you hear me well?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, sir, we hear you.
Okay, so this means that I have a problem. I have a problem with the second language itself. For example, how can you pronounce the first word? This word, choir. How can you pronounce this word?
Choir.
Yeah, choir. Chuar. CH. Okay, we used to pronounce CH cha, but in this word, choir.
Yeah.
The second word, how can you pronounce it?
Exaggeration.
Yeah, exaggeration.
Exaggeration.
Yeah, exaggeration. Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, so the third problem, which is a big problem, it's called induced errors. The errors that are caused by teachers. Okay, so induced errors. So maybe at school you find some teachers, for example, saying apostrophe, okay? Apostrophe without the sound E. So a lot of students and teachers say apostrophe S without E, without the sound E. So, but the right pronunciation, apostrophe, apostrophe. So you should be very careful with these words because it's commonly mispronounced. A lot of teachers also say, okay, increase. Yes, that's right or wrong? Increase.
Increase.
Increase with this?
Increase, not increase.
Yeah, it's noun or verb?
As a noun, increase.
Increase.
As a verb, increase.
Increase
Like
with
use,
that?
like use and use.
No, I'm so sorry, sir. Yes, use and use. That's right.
Yes, yes.
Use as a verb and use as a noun.
Increase
But
noun and the verb increase.
yes, yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Says that's right.
Increase. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
increase.
right. Yes.
Increase as a verb and noun with sa sound. Okay, and also decrease. Okay, so actually it's increase, decrease. Maybe some people say, for example, the noun is, as I said, increase, and the verb is increase. No, I'm sorry. Both of noun and verb are pronounced increase with sa. Okay? Um, and the difference is in stress. Okay? The position of the stress. Okay? So as a verb, increase. The stress in the second syllable, increase. And as a noun, increase. Okay? That's the difference between these two words. Okay? Okay, so some advanced students pronounce it increase. This is maybe because at school they got it from the teacher and grow up with this problem. Next, let's move to lead in. Lead in concerns the difficult sounds. So think in general about your learners, which English sound they find most difficult. For each sound, I want you to write a word you know they find difficult to say. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do this. At first, think in general about your learners which English sounds they find most difficult. And for each sound, I want you to write a word you know they find difficult to say. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do this. Please write down your names in the chat box and try to change your names. Try to change your names to your real name. Okay, there is someone entered with his mobile phone name. Okay, so try to change it, please. Obbo One. I don't know who is he or she. Okay, so have you finished? Okay, have you finished? Have you finished? Have you finished? Do you hear me? Have you finished? My dear, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Mr. Mahmoud, Miss Ines,
Yeah.
do you hear me?
Yes, I heard. Yes, I heard you say.
Okay, so have you finished?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are the sounds that you can find? These sounds are difficult for you learners. Okay, what are these sounds? Can you give me an example? Okay,
Sand there. Sand
yeah,
then somewhere is yes, sand.
yeah,
Sand
sanza,
there. Sand
yeah,
there.
sanza, p
Yeah.
and b, as I
Band
said
fan.
before.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to repeat myself. For example, thin, this, paper, okay,
Paper.
uh, okay, paper, and so on. Okay, so
Yeah.
these are some sounds. Okay, let's watch this video to know more about phonemic chart. Okay, this is a phonemic chart. The sounds in English. We have 44 phonemes in English. Consonant sound, vowel sound, and the vowel sound divided into monophthongs and diphthongs. Okay, so let's watch this video to know more about phonemic chart and the difference between monophthongs and diphthongs and consonant. Okay, so let's watch.
Hi there. In this video, we're going to be looking at the phonetic chart. I'm Colin Monroe, and this is the English Language Club. At first,
1 minute, please. I want to, yes.
hi there. In this video, we're going to be looking at the phonetic chart. I'm Colin Monroe, and this is the English Language Club. At first, it looks like a meaningless collection of symbols, but each symbol represents a different sound. In spoken form, most of the English language can be broken down into 44 separate sounds. The phonetic chart shows us how these sounds relate to each other. There are 3 sections to the chart: single vowels, or monophthongs in green, diphthongs in red, and the consonants in blue. The first section is the single vowel sounds. These are sometimes called the monophthongs. When we think about the alphabet, we normally think of there being 5 vowels: A, E, I, O, and U. However, there are many ways that these letters are pronounced, so the pronunciation is very inconsistent. This makes things very difficult when learning English, especially as in many other languages, the vowel sounds are pronounced more consistently with how they're spelled. On the top row, we have the sounds E, I, U, and oo. With all these sounds, the mouth is almost closed, and the sound is made at the top of the mouth. That's why they're on the top row. On the second row, we have the sounds e, and o. Now the mouth is a little more open, and it feels like the sounds come straight out through the middle of the mouth. That's why they're on the middle row. On the bottom row, we have the sounds a, ah, and o. To make these sounds, our mouth should be almost wide open, and it feels like the sound is coming from the bottom of the mouth, and that's why they're on the bottom row. The columns are also important because they give us an idea of the position of our tongue. With the left column, the tongue is at the front. E, e, a. Moving back a little, I, and a. Back a little more, a. And now finally, at the back, oo, o, o. The second section is the diphthongs. On our chart, that's the section in red. Diphthongs are also vowel sounds, but they're a combination of two vowel sounds that appear together within the same syllable, producing a new, unique sound. They're arranged according to the second sound. In the first column, we have the sounds. Ear, ua, and air. In the second column, we have the I sounds. We should note here that the symbol for these diphthongs are written with the I symbol, but the sound is often the longer but similar E. A, oi, and I. And in the third column, we have the U symbol. Again, sometimes the sound is more similar to the longer oo, as in O and ow. The third section is the consonant sounds. The first two rows are sometimes called consonant pairs. This is because the sounds of each pair are produced in a very similar way. Let's look at the first pair. P and B. The sound is very similar, but the physical shape of the mouth is almost exactly the same. The only difference is B is voiced, which means that we use our vocal cords to produce the sound. If you feel your neck when you say the sound, you should feel some vibration. B, 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 B. Now, if you say P, if you say it correctly, you won't feel that vibration. P, 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 P. The same is true for the next pair. T and D. D is voiced and T isn't. D, T, D, T, D, T. And Ch and J. Ch, J, Ch, J, Ch, J. K, G, K, K, G, K, G. Good. Finally, on bottom row, we have the single consonants. W, and Y. So you can see now that the phonetic chart is not just a random collection of symbols, but a useful tool for learning correct pronunciation. For an even more detailed explanation of one of the sections, click on one of the annotations on the left of your screen. We've also produced an interactive chart using YouTube's annotations, so you can click on a symbol and it will jump to the part of the video and play that sound. So you can listen over and over again to the sounds that you want to study. Remember, you can have online classes with me or one of our other teachers. Check out our website for details. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook and Skype. If you've got any questions or comments, please get in touch. We're here to help.
Okay, I think it's a useful video about sounds in English. So let's move to classroom activities to practice individual sounds. Okay, so the first, minimal pairs. Okay, so what is a minimal pair? Why are minimal pairs useful for practicing individual sounds? Can you think of some minimal pairs that would be useful for your learners to practice? So read these questions again, then watch the following video and answer the questions. Okay, so let's watch the video.
English lessons.
Today's mini English lesson is about minimal pairs. What are minimal pairs? Minimal pairs are a pair of words that vary by a single sound, and they're very important for pronunciation. So, the first example we're going to look at is I. Altogether, I. Second sound, E. Now we notice on this sound that we have two dots. That means that the sound is longer. E. For example, sit on the seat. Sit on the seat. Now, if you get this wrong, it would sound seat on the seats. You get the nouns and the verbs mixed up. Nobody knows what's happening. Everybody's confused. Sit on the seat. Number 2. And A. Like Italian. A. So, A. For example, wait. It's wet. Again, if you get this mixed up, wet, it's wait, it's no. A lot of confusion. No. Third example, O, and O. For example, so you saw the film. All together, so you saw the film. If you get this wrong, so you saw the film, too much confusion. We have the first one, sit on the seat. Wait, it's wet, so you saw the film. These were 3 examples of minimal pairs. Enjoy and practice.
Okay, so what is the minimal pair? Can you tell me what is minimal pair? Can you tell me what is minimal pair? Yes. Yes, sir. Who's speaking? Yes, sir. Who's speaking? What is minimal pair? Okay. Our session will... Yes.
I can add it.
Yeah, Mr. Mahmoud, yes. Go
Is there words that have the similar pronunciation except one sound or except one phoneme.
Yeah.
As the video explored or indicates the word sit and seat. So the first one short E, sit, and long E, seat. But the consonant sa and ta are same. So sit and seat similar in the pronunciation, but for one phoneme.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Go job, sir.
Like
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, the two words have the same sounds except only one sound. Okay? Okay, I will clarify this definition more, but the session will end. Please go out to the meeting and then rejoin again. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, let's continue. Minimal pairs. Okay, who can read? Who can read? Who can read? Okay, who can read? Who can read? Come on, guys. Who can read? Miss Ghada, Miss Manal, Miss Asma. Come on, guys. Who can read? Hey, come on. Who can read? Okay. Minimal pair. What is minimal pair? A minimal pair is a pair of words. Is a pair of words that or where the individual sounds are all the same except one. For example, sure and sore. Why are minimal pairs useful for practicing individual sounds? Minimal pairs are particularly useful for practice individual sounds because they highlight how important such sounds can be. If one sound is mispronounced, you could be saying a different word, with a different meaning. Also, by contrasting sounds in words, it becomes more obvious to learners that they are different. So, can you think of some minimal verb that would be useful for you learners to practice? You will need to provide feedback depending on the learner's own language. Okay. So, let me give you an example. If you are having a conversation and you hear the word night, and you hear the word night instead of light, of course, it's gonna be a problem with communication, and you don't understand what I'm saying. Of course, you're misunderstanding my message. Again, if we have or if you are having a conversation and you hear the word night instead of light, of course it's gonna be a problem with communication, and you don't understand what I am saying. Of course, you misunderstanding my message. Okay, here is a very useful activity that you can do with your students. We have here some cards, as you can see. Okay, here in the right of the screen: pray, play, very, fairy, night, light, caught. Okay, so what you need to do: cut out the cards from Appendix A and mix them up in an envelope, and then tell the participants to take a card from the envelope, read it, but don't show it to anyone. So the participant will read it loudly, but don't show it to anyone. Walk around the room saying the word loud. Listen to others and find their partner. Come to you together and return their cards. And take another card and repeat the activity. Check the participants have found their match and not a minimal pair. Okay, so they have found their match. Okay, the first one will take the card pray, and he will search for the another one or the other one that have the same card pray. Okay, collect the papers when the participants have had 2 or 3 turns, and ask the participants to sit with their new partners. Okay, so they have the same word, pray, pray. Okay, the 2 participants have the same word. Okay, I can make the same activity, but the first partner, okay, or the first participant will search for the other one that has the minimal pair. Okay, for example, the first one has the card bray, bray, and he will search for the other one that have the card play, and so on. Okay, okay, it's clear. Is this activity clear? Is this activity clear? Is this activity clear? Any question? Any question?
No.
Okay. Okay, there is another very good activity to make sure that your learner know the difference between two different words. Okay, this is another activity. Tell the participants to work as pairs in general. The activity is called the right question. So, cut out with the cards. Give this copy to pair A. Okay, the first one, the first card, this, the pair A. Give it to pair A. Okay, and the other copy, this in purple, to pair P. Okay. In turns, every student will ask a question, and depending on the answer of the other student, you will know that he heard the correct pronunciation or not. So, ask your partner each question, choosing one of the words in bold italics. If you get the right answer, so you are pronouncing the word correctly. So, for example, if I am your partner and I ask you, what does the night mean? The word night mean. Okay? So, in the third question, what does the word night mean? And if you say it's dark, so it is the opposite of the morning. So you got a right pronunciation. Okay? Again, if I am your partner and ask you, what does the night mean? If you say it's dark, if the other partner or the other participant, okay, answer it's dark or it is the opposite of morning, so that means you got a right pronunciation. But if I ask what does the night mean and you answered, that's the opposite of word heavy. Okay, so you didn't actually hear the word correctly. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the second activity that that you can use to practice individual sounds. Okay, so next, what the name or what is, sorry, there is a mistake here. What is the name of this activity? So watch this video, okay? Watch this video and tell me the name of this activity, okay?
Hi everybody, welcome back to Avalon Bites at Avalon School London. I'm Zane. Today it's time for another tongue twister. Okay, so the tongue twister we will look at today is to practice these two sounds, the s sound and the sh sound. Okay, so here's the tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. That's just next to the sea. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 Okay, rewind if you want to practice again. Click the subscribe button, comments and questions below, and see you next time.
Okay, so what is the name of this activity? Do you know?
Tongue twister.
Yes, tongue twister. Yeah, so tongue twister is a very useful activity to practice the individual sounds. And it's very useful and interesting. Okay?
Hi everyone.
So, tongue twister. What are tongue twisters? And why are tongue twisters useful for practicing individual sounds? The Egyptian students have a problem of saying the sound ba, the sound pa, as I said before. So we may using the tongue twister, including the sound pa, will be very useful. So for example, who can read this example? Who can read? Come on. Come on, please. Who can read? Yeah, it's easy and it's something interesting. Please try to participate. Please. Who can read? Mr. Mustafa, where are you? Mrs. Ghada.
Yes, mister. Yes.
Yes. Who is speaking?
Nagwa Samir.
Yes, Miss Nagwa.
Peter Pepper picked a pick of pickled peppers.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so who can also read that? Yes, another one, Ms. Ghada, Mr. Mustafa. Where's Mr. Mustafa? Okay, Mr. Mustafa, Miss Amani, Asma, Miss Asma. Okay. Okay, so Peter Piper picked a pick of pickled peppers. 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 I think it's so interesting and it's so interesting for the students and it will help them to pronounce the sound p correctly. Okay, so Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay. Okay, so these are the activities that we talked about. Find your partner, the right question, and the tongue twister. If you think that these activities are good and your students will have no problem, so do with them. And if you think there is something that's not gonna be suitable and you need to make some changes, try to adapt to be suitable. Okay. The application. Okay, pronunciation. So prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, why? Why is prevention? Prevention is better than cure. And when it comes to pronunciation. Okay, so prevention is better than cure where pronunciation is concerned. Teachers should try to prevent the incorrect pronunciation of individual sounds when introducing a new language to learners. And it's more difficult to correct problems later on when the mispronunciation has become a habit. Sometimes learners don't know how to physically pronounce individual sounds, particularly if those sounds don't exist in their own language or aren't used in the same position in words. So, for example, we have the letter ra, okay? And in Arabic, harf ra may be similar, but they aren't pronounced exactly the same. Ra, ra, okay? And the individual sounds learners have problems with will depend on the participant's own context. So finally, here, basically, what I try to say is that if we wait for a long time, To fix a problem, I think it will become a habit, especially if that person is not very young. I mean, if it's a child or teen or 20s, to some extent, maybe we can change it. But if somebody is older than that, of course, it becomes a habit. So this will be our next point concerning fossilization. Okay, so what does it mean? What does fossilization means? Fossilization refers to the process in which incorrect language becomes a habit and can't easily be corrected. Try to imagine, okay, I will give an example. Try to imagine that we have a student in classroom. Maybe he or she is 40 years old, 30 or 50, 60 years old, okay? I said, try to imagine, okay? You have a student in your classroom that that he is 50 or that's he is that he is 50 or 60 years old, and he or she has been pronouncing the word in a wrong way, okay, for years and years, okay. For example, that the word is that that you see in on the screen, something and something. Something he has pronounced these words or this word for 30 years, something like that, something with sah sound, okay? This thing cannot be easy for him to say something with th sound. So when he tries to say it correctly, but after we finished the class and try to speak, he will say it something, okay, with sa, because of fossilization. That's what I mean. And these are fossilized errors which are difficult to be corrected. And this sometimes happen with us, okay? We try to say something, 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 okay? And when you don't pay attention, you may say something, something with that sound, okay? Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not? Is this point clear or not?
Mm.
Uh, is it point clear or not? I can explain it again. Do you want to explain it again?
Yeah, it's clear,
No, it's
Mr.
clear.
Okay. So we have two different dialogues between the teachers and learners. Okay? The question here, which teacher corrected the learners successfully? So you have 5 minutes to do this activity. Okay, please prepare your answer. I want you to participate. Okay, this is the last thing that I will say today. Okay, so please prepare your answer. Okay, try to read the two dialogues and find the best teacher or the teacher who corrected the learners successfully. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do this.
Teacher.
Yes? Any question?
Can you hear me, sir? Teacher number B. The best.
Okay. You have, please give a chance for the others to read. Okay, you have 5 minutes to do this activity. Okay, prepare your answer and I will hear for all of you. Okay, have you finished? Have you finished?
Yes.
Okay, who can give me an answer?
Yes.
Okay, who can give me an answer for this question? Which teacher corrected the runners successfully?
Teacher B.
Okay, who's speaking?
منى جمال.
Okay, Miss Mona.
In picture B, she uses cards. She repeated the words in a friendly way.
Yes.
But in picture A, he is angry.
Yes.
He even if not try to listen to the people quietly.
Yes.
He uses an old method of learning.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in picture B it is better. And she uses cards. She gave the pupil chance to write on the board.
Yes. Yes.
When the pupil pronounced the sound wrong, she tried again to learn him the right sound.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Mona. Excellent. That's a good answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes? Anyone else? Miss Ines, do you want to say something?
No.
Okay, so teacher B is more successful. The learner don't know that he made a mistake. Okay, when he repeated the same sentence, yes, swimming fool. Okay, so he didn't know that he made a mistake. So the rule of the teacher to correct this mistake. Okay, and the first one, as you see in the picture, is so angry and grumpy, and he said no. He said no. Oh dear. Yes. The second one, is different, and she always has a smiley face, as you see. Okay, she wrote the sound on the board. Okay, the second one I think is more successful. Okay, that's it for our session today. And the next session will be next Friday, and it will be about thinking skills. Okay, see you inshallah. And please try to answer the tasks on Google Classroom. Okay, thank you so much for attendance today, and see you next Friday inshallah. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.